Hi folks, today I'm going to show you how to make a very bastard way to cheat on video games online and make all your enemies go crazy and hate you. Yeah, for sure they will hate you. So for this project, let me take this. This is an Ethernet cable and usually is used to connect a modem or a router to the PC or to the console for playing video games. In this case, I need to hack it open. I will use a very sharp and pointy blade to do this, so be very careful. I will measure about 30 or 40 centimeters of this cable, and now right here I can cut open the rubber. Be very gentle, don't cut yourself, and also don't scratch the cables that are inside. So you can press it open and you see that inside I found some aluminum foil. This is to protect the cables from electromagnetic interference. So remove also this aluminum foil with your fingers, it's very easy to do it. And now you can see that inside I found 4 pairs of cables. And I have a blue one, an orange one, a brown and a green one. For this project we are interested only in the orange one. So put the orange one apart, and now with some very little but very sharp scissors I will cut away in 2 parts the orange one. So be very careful, don't scratch the other cables and don't mess up the colors. So now we only need to remove also the rubber that is covering the copper. So with these pliers that are made on purpose for cable stripping, I remove almost half centimeters of copper, because later we will connect it to a relay. Yes, because I bought in a local shop this. This is a remote control relay and usually is used to open the gates or garage door. And it's very simple. When you push the button inside this black box, there is a relay that opens and closes. As you can see, there are a lot of letters. We're only going to use the GM and NC, which means common and normally closed. So you can imagine like a switch. We have the common and then we have the normally closed, which means that this box, when nobody is touching it, there is a switch inside that stays always closed. But instead, when we press the little remote control button, this little switch opens and interrupts the internet connection. By the way, I will explain this later on. Now I only need to plug in the power, so in this case the positive lead goes to the VDD and the negative goes to GND, which means ground. Let me take now instead a remote control button. This is a very classic one, probably you saw something like this to open and close a garage door or a car box, so also for opening and closing the doors from the car. So my idea is to connect this little button behind the joystick from my PS3, because I play very often online video games, so I think it's very comfortable to put it here on the back. But if you are playing with your PC, can be also be placed on your desktop. By the way, I put some glue here on the back. This is epoxy glue that sticks very well to plastic, so I put it only on the parts that are coming up. So this is the result. And now I just have to place the buttons here on the back of my joypad perfectly in the center. I leave the glue dry for about 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes this is the result. The buttons are perfectly in place and I can push it very comfortable. You can see that even if I'm playing, I can use my finger to push the button here on the back, so I'm quite happy on the results. Connecting the things is very easy. So we have the LAN cable that goes on the back of a modem. So put it in the original place. So here in the Ethernet connection, in the number 1 for example. And now we just have to plug in the power. This is 12 volts that gives power to the relay. So it's just a matter of pushing the button to open the relay and disconnect the orange cable. The other part of the LAN cable can be plugged into a desktop PC or to the console. So let me explain you better how this system works. So we have under the console a switch. When we push this little switch, we send a signal to the black box that is the small relay, and the relay inside have a little switch that opens. When the switch opens, interrupts the signal that goes from the console to the game and to our enemies that is playing on the other side of the country. So for a couple of seconds our enemies wouldn't sit us in that right place in front of us. So let me explain you better what I mean. For example, you are playing Fortnite and you find your enemy in front of you. You push the button, the enemy will start to shoot you, but instead you are walking away. He doesn't notice that. He's continuing to shooting in right that place. Instead, you are walking around him and you start shooting him in the back. So you kill him and he doesn't notice anything. You are just like a ghost. You move so fast, he doesn't notice anything. This is very frustrating and makes your enemy go crazy and angry. So I suggest you to use it only with your real life friends. For example, I play on the PS3 the GTA 4 game. I play it only with my best friends. We are 4 best friends, and usually at night we play some games. So I will use it just to make them go crazy, and that's it. Use this type of cheat on real life online game with other people is very unfair. I think it's not even funny. So I suggest you to don't do it. And I also suggest you to don't use this system too often. So just push it for almost half a second, or it's also a very good idea to push it very rapidly, but in a very fast way for almost a second or two. Because you risk to get disconnected from the game session, or also you risk to get banned. So I told you this, don't do it too often. But if you want to play with a smartphone, or for example with a console that is connected to internet not via Ethernet cable but via Wi-Fi connection, you only need to add this device. This is a very cheap one, you can find it on Amazon like all the other components I use in this project. So check the links here below and you solve all your problems. By the way, you find all the connections about the cables and all the wires here below as well. I put some PDFs so you know how to connect the LAN cable and the Wi-Fi connection. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the project, and now that we are talking about video games, I also want to leave you this project that was when I took apart a joystick from a PlayStation and I had under my seat a very huge motor, like such a big motor that starts to shake all the chair each time I crash with a car in the game. It was something that amplified the sensation of the game. It was very, very nice. So check it out and see you next week with another do-it-yourself tutorial. Ciao, ciao!